software. Okay, one thing. After showing the simulation, the soft copy of the report you can upload onto the the drive link I'll share with you after the class. There you can using a Google form you have to fill it up and you have to upload the report. Okay, so that will do. So because by the time the regular classes starts, we'll complete this process of EAT. There is a simulation results as well as report submission. Okay, so that's the basic idea. That Google Drive link I'll share it. Um, you know, I'll share it. I'll share it with you guys. Okay, so for timing, okay, for right now, we'll let us discuss the um, this is a regular discussion. Please hold on a second. Yeah, there is on the line. Yes. So we were discussing the flip-flops. So I'll be referring both the textbook as I showed in the class. That is Morris Mona as well as ER Pro, because some things are good in some book. So it happens, because not all the content um, are clear in all the textbooks. So hence we have to refer multiple textbooks. So last class I think we discussed JK flip-flop, master normal JK flip-flop that is converted into what is known as uh, J sorry T flip-flop and D flip-flop. Okay, so that I'll discuss. So we'll continue from the point onwards. Please hold on a second. Let me share the screen. Entire screen. Okay. That EIT report base, once the classes resumes, you have to submit the hard copy. So for timing, you submit the soft copy. Uh, yeah, after showing the result, don't submit, before showing the result because they'll not be able to, track. So better to show the result and then submit the hard copy. Sorry, then upload the soft copy of the report. Okay. So here we go. So here it is. So we are discussing about multiplexer. Mm, sorry, flip-flop, not multiplexer. Sorry, flip-flop. We discussed JK flip-flop. JK flip-flop. What's the advantage of JK flip-flop is it will overcome the intermediate state of a SR flip-flop or SR latch by introducing a condition called as race around condition. So the race around condition will find only in case of a JK flip-flop. Okay, here we go. Um, yes, JK flip-flop we discussed. So how to derive the equation also we saw in the last class. T flip-flop using JK flip-flop. Here in this textbook, Marsmon, the symbol is not given. That's why I prefer this. I'll be referring both. Okay, so in this YAR Pro, that this logic symbol is given because whenever, especially logic symbol is useful whenever you are simulating the, you're working with the hardware or the simulation. This is very useful. Otherwise, we'll know the theory, but we don't know how does it look like, logically, symbol wise. Okay, so this is the what is called as JK flip flop, which is modified into D flip flop. Okay, so D for data flip flop. Okay, so yeah. So D for data flip flop. We use a NOT gate. NOT gate can be implemented using an AND gate or a NOR gate. And this symbol indicates it is a clock pulse. We are applying a clock pulse. If there is a bubble, that means it is a negative clock pulse. Negative clock pulse means normally high, it goes low whenever it is applied. Normal clock pulse normally low, and it will change the state as long as it is powered. As long as the crystal oscillator is powered, it will generate the oscillations. That is clock pulses. So this is for the D flip flop. So the truth table is very simple, guys. When D is 0, Q is also 0. QT is actually, I think it's not, you'll not be able to see this properly. It is actually QT Qt plus 1. Qt is the present state, Qt is the next state. Qt plus 1 dash will be the complement of present state, sorry, next state. So if it is initially 0, it will no, it will change its state to 0. If it is 1, it will change the state to 0 when d is 0. The same thing when d is 1, initially if it is 1, it will change the state to 1 because d should be same as q. That's why it's called as a data flip-flop. Sorry. Um, Initially if it is 1, it will retain the state. Okay, so that's how the d flip-flop works. I think we discussed T flip-flop also. Let us quickly look into that. T is very simple, guys. T is a basic modification of what is called as D flip-flop. JK flip-flop, of course, no doubt. So in this case, both J and K are shorted. In both inputs, J corresponds to set input and J corresponds to reset input. So in J and K shorted are given as input 1. So the output will be something like this. If T input is 0, if present output, sorry, present output is 0, it will retain the same state. If present state is 1, it will retain the same state. Very simple. Whereas if T input is 1, if present state is 0, it will toggle to 1, and if the present state is 1, so next state will be logical 0. Okay, so this condition is called as a toggling condition. That is when T input is 1, whereas T input is 0, no change. I mean, the output remains same. That is because of the basic operation of the JK flip-flop, which is derived from the SR flip-flop. Very simple. Okay, yes, this is the summary of the characteristic equation for SR flip-flop, not the latch. SR flip-flop. Okay, what is the difference? Latch is asynchronous. It does not has a clock pulse. Flip-flop, it has a clock pulse. Okay, so that's why, because if you observe the equation, it is written as Qt plus 1 next state. That is, for a given present state condition, what will be the next state? Yeah, so that's we can write like this. For SR flip-flop, the equation is S plus R dash Q T. It is not Qt plus, it is Qt. That is present state. Present state Qt. It can be 0 or it can be 1. So Qt can be 0 or 1. So for a JK flip-flop, it is what is the problem in SR flip-flop is it is sorry, intermediate state when both inputs are 0 0 or undefined state. I think I wrote wrong. Intermediate state. Okay. For JK flip-flop, the characteristic equation is given as J Qt dash plus K dash Qt. Now, in this case, we have what is known as a race around condition. Race around condition in case of a JK flip-flop. D flip-flop is very simple. Qt dash is equal Qt plus 1 is equal to D. That is present state is same as the. It depends only on the D. It doesn't depend on the previous condition. Okay, you can observe, that in both the RS and JK flip-flop, it depends on the previous state. Previous state means it will transition. It takes transition in, no problem. D flip-flop, it is straight away depends only on the input. T flip-flop, it depends on the previous output. It represented as Qt T dash plus Qt dash T. Very simple. So it is similar to that of JK flip-flop. If you observe the characteristic equation of JK flip-flop and T flip-flop, in both the equation, J and K is replaced with T. It becomes a T flip-flop in characteristic equation wise. Yes, it's very simple. It's quite straightforward. Okay. Yes, next is what is known as a master slave JK flip-flop. Meantime, I'll check here. In case of any triggering of flip-flops, I'm looking for a master slave. Okay, this we'll discuss. No problem. Okay, we'll come back to this point a little later. Okay. Next type of flip-flop is called as a master slave JK flip-flop. Okay. What happens in case of a master slave JK flip-flop is we'll discuss this timing diagram. Okay, let's trigger flip-flop. Okay, wait. Just a second. I think there is a diagram for here it is. Okay, so this is what is called as a master slave JK flip-flop. Okay, there are two types. It's called as a pulse triggered and edge triggered flip-flops. This I'll discuss little later. Pulse triggered and edge triggered. Okay, So we'll come back to this after some time. Okay, guys, what happens in case in this case of master slave JK flip flop is that each type of each JK flip flop, it is no, sorry, it is converted into D flip flop. How do we convert? It's very simple. Between J and K, we have a NOT gate. We have a NOT gate. It becomes a D flip flop. This D flip flop is one of the D flip flop is used as a master, which will drive the other flip flop, other D flip flop, similar flip flop, which is called as a slave. The reason for this is this. Excuse me, sir. Okay, here we go. Now the question is, okay, so the input for the master is D. The output Q, which is equal to D, is applied as an input to slave flip flop. And output of slave flip flop should be equal to D. Very simple, okay? But what happens is that both should, this is flip flop number 1, this is D flip flop number 2, both first and second flip flop should operate at the same speed, okay? So for that, what is required here is, when the clock pulse is applied, okay, both master and slave should not operate at the same speed. That means to say that let's say something like this, okay? Let us say this is the clock pulse, for example, okay? Now, if let us say we don't have this NOT gate, let us say for example we don't have this NOT gate, let us say common clock pulse is applied to both the flip flop, for example, okay? What happens is that initially, let us understand this with respect to this initial condition. Let us initially the output of master is 0, okay, and output of slave is 0, for example, okay. Obviously, because input is 0, output should be 0 anyway. Now, let's say we provide input as 1, D as 1. Output of Q triggers to 1, changes to 1. Because of the same clock pulse applied, what happens is that this slave output also will change to 1. Okay, nothing wrong, ultimately slave output should also change, but what happens is that this is happening at the same edge of a clock pulse. Please, okay, let us quickly go to this document, Morris one. It is explained here, the edges of a flip flop, okay. It is called as a edge triggered flip flop. This we discussed under what is known as the triggering of flip flops. There is edge triggered flip flops. Okay, what is edge triggered flip flops? Okay, so this generally what happens is that let us take a simple AND gate, and then whatever it is. Okay, let us say we apply clock pulse to both the inputs. This is one clock pulse. It is continuously high, and another clock pulse or input whatever it is low. Okay, this is logic 1 and this is logic 0. Output will be logic 0. Very simple. Okay. Now, when the input is changing, let us say input is a clock pulse instead of a continuous pulse. Let us say input is a clock pulse. Clock pulse is applied to both the inputs. Both the inputs will change from 1 to 0 as well as 0 to 1 continuously. 1 to 0, 0 to 1 continuously. In this case, what will happen is output will also change based on the input condition. Here, in fact, what happens is that, input as long as logic high, let us say something like this, okay, in this clock pulse, in this duration, okay, in this duration where the clock pulse is high, it will trigger the AND gate. Whereas when it goes from high to low, okay, and when it becomes low, as long as it is low, it will trigger the AND gate. Now we have a situation where we trigger the AND gate not when the clock pulse is high, but when it goes from 0 to low. This is called as a transition. If you consider one clock pulse, it has two edges. This edge, that is when it is going from 0 to 1, it is called as a rising edge. I think this I had discussed in one of the class, this is called as a rising edge. And the other edge, which is going from high to low, okay, this is called as a falling edge. This is called as a falling edge. I think it's written there, is also called as a positive edge, also called as a negative edge. Okay, different names, different authors. Okay, different terminologies. Okay, this is called as a positive pulse. Positive pulse, as you can see the the name. Why positive pulse is because normally it is low, and when the clock pulse started, and when the crystal oscillator is energized, it starts generating the clock pulse. Normally low. Okay, that is positive pulse. Negative pulse on the other hand, okay, as normally high. So observe the negative edge, guys. Observe this negative edge. In case of positive pulse, negative edge occurs when it goes from high to low. Okay, here also in the negative pulse, negative edge occurs when it goes from high to low. No problem, no change. That is true. But difference between these two is that this is normally low and this is normally high. In other words, this, if you observe the edges, this is very important. In the positive pulse, positive edge comes first. In a clock pulse, the first edge which comes is positive edge. In the negative pulse, the first edge which comes is negative edge. Because of this major difference, okay, for example, let us say for an AND gate, let us say one input is a positive edge, positive pulse, for example, okay, another input is a negative pulse, for example, okay. What will happen is, let us say this input positive pulse is going from low to high, okay. That means it is going from 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Okay, let us take this transition as 1. This negative pulse is going from 1 to 0. Let us take it as 0. Output will be 0. But in a given instance of time, one is going from high to low, there is a negative pulse. The positive pulse is going from low to high. Okay. In this duration, in this short duration, what we understand is both, one is logic high, the other is logic low. It may so happen that, another way of writing this, something like this. For example, let us say if the waveform is like this, something like, let us take one example, okay, something like this, okay, some waveform like this, okay. Because if you observe this, these two pulses now, here it is going from 0 to 1, positive pulse. Negative pulse is going from 1 to 0, 1 to 0. For a short duration, both the signal will be, okay, if this is 0 and this is 1. This is one possibility. The other possibility is that, let us write the other possibility. Other possibility is something like this. Observe this. In this case, this is positive pulse and this is the negative pulse. Somebody is on the line. Okay, just a second. Okay, here we go. Yes, okay. Here it is, okay. Because in this case, okay, positive pulse is going from 0 to 1, negative pulse went from 1 to 0. But in this small duration, both the pulse as a logic I, both the pulse as a logic I 1. When such kind of waveform is applied to this AND gate, output will be logic 1. Okay, so thereby what we have to understand is, either it is a positive pulse or negative pulse, any pulse can be applied. There is no problem with that. Okay, but at what edge the circuit is triggers, or circuit gate, whatever it is, triggers, depends on which edge comes first, whether it's a positive edge or a negative edge. So based on that, the circuit operation will change. Okay, yes, I think that point is clear. Okay, so the basic difference between a positive pulse and a negative pulse. Okay, so because of this, okay, what happens in case of a no master slave? Okay, there is a slight difference in the circuit diagram shown in Morris Monod and the Yarbrough. That's why I'm opening both the circuit. Observe, the difference is in terms of what is known as edge detect. What is this edge detect? I'll explain. Okay. Okay. This in case of, in this circuit, it's very simple. This is shown as SR latch. No issues. No problem. Okay. Because when it is shorted and given with the NOT gate, it becomes a, what you call D flip flop. No issues. Okay. So this is a D flip flop. Let us assume that both are D, not an issue. So it's okay. Fine. So thereby, what we are discussing here is, what is the significance of clock pulse applied to both the flip flops, first and second flip flop, but with a NOT gate in between that. Okay, the difference is that, let us say for example, a positive pulse. Let us take an example of a positive pulse. Okay, when positive pulse is applied, initially it is 0. When the 0 is applied to the first master slave flip flop, the slave flip flop will have a clock pulse of 1. Okay, because the NOT gate will complement the clock pulse, it becomes 1. So during when the input is 0, okay, the output of the NOT gate is something like this, that is 1. Okay, that means because of 1 applied to the clock pulse, and it is active high clock pulse. Let's observe the the C input. If you observe the C input, if it is a if it is a bubble, something like this, that means it will trigger on negative edge. Negative edge means when it goes from high to low. Okay, the flip flop will trigger on negative edge when it goes from high to low if there is a bubble. If no bubble, that means it will trigger on a positive pulse when it goes from low to high. There is a difference between the bubble and the absence of bubble. Okay, now in this case there is absence of bubble, so it's a positive pulse not triggering flip flops. So so when the pulse is going from low to high, the master slave is has a clock pulse of 0, and what you call this slave flip flop has a clock pulse of 1. So thereby what is the condition now? Slave flip flop is enabled. When the slave flip flop is enabled, whatever the input applied from the master flip flop, okay, so I'm assuming this is a D flip flop, okay, so that our discussion becomes simple. That's why, okay. Let us say initially 0, no problem. Let us take initial condition of output of a master as 0. Because 0 is applied as an input to the slave flip flop, output of the slave flip flop becomes 0. Okay, fine. Under what condition it is happening? Under the positive edge of the clock pulse. That is when the clock pulse is going from 0 to 1 or high to low to high, the slave flip flop is enabled because of the complement operation performed by the NOT gate. When the same pulse goes from high to low, there is negative edge. What will happen is the clock pulse. Let's observe this. I'll erase this so that we'll write again. Okay. So during the negative edge, I think I can pick another color in case Yeah, negative edge. During the negative edge, what will happen is initial condition is 1 and final stage is 0. Master will have a clock pulse of 1, and because of the complement operation, the NOT gate will complement the clock pulse. It will go from 0 to 1. Okay, that means not 1, 0 to 1. Okay, um, 0 to 1, correct. 0 to 1. So okay, this is sorry, correct, 0 to 1. Okay, final state, no issues. Okay, so finally, before it goes to one state, okay, so the initial condition of the slave is 0, whereas the master is 1. I'm talking about this edge. Okay, before it transits, before the the edge comes, edge is applied. In this negative edge region, what will happen is master will have a clock input of 1 and a slave will have a clock input of 0. Because of this, what happens is whatever the input we apply to master, let us say for example 1 or 0, whatever it is, okay, that will be copied, that will generate at the output of the master 1. But this cannot propagate to the output of the slave because slave is disabled because its clock is 0. Because its clock is 0. Okay, so thereby summary, to summarize this discussion what we have. Okay, so the positive clock pulse, I'm taking positive clock pulse as an example. So the slave is enabled, slave flip flop is active or enabled when the clock pulse is going from 0 to 1. 0 to 1, that is rising edge. Basically slave is on, slave is enabled, and master flip flop is disabled. Master flip flop is off or disabled, whatever it is. Okay, disabled. Okay, whereas when the clock pulse, same clock pulse, guys, not one more cycle. So we should understand this concept, not in the next cycle, in the same off cycle. Guys, what is one cycle, by the way? This is yes, I'll show you it. Okay, this is one cycle, correct? This entire thing is one cycle. Okay, the master flip flop is being triggered within the off cycle, that is within the rising edge as well as falling edge. This is the rising edge and this is the falling edge. Okay, so what is happening in this case is rising edge, slave is on, master is off. Falling edge, when the clock pulse goes from 1 to 0, okay, slave flip flop will be in the off condition or it is disabled, whereas master is enabled. Master will be enabled. Okay, this condition is what is called as a edge triggered flip flops. This we call it as a edge triggered flip flop. edge triggered flip-flops. Okay. One more type of flip-flop is possible, that is called as a level triggered flip-flop, which is also called as a, I'll show you, here it is. Okay, which is also called as a pulse triggered flip-flops. Okay, what is pulse? Okay, just hold on a second. Just please hold on. Guys, please hold on. I'll continue in 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. So we'll continue the discussion. Just 2 minutes. Please wait. Ah, okay. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now, what we understand now is in this concept. Okay. Okay. Yes, in this circuit, what we see is the same circuit base. The only difference is here the D flip flop is used using the RS flip flop. That's not too much of a difference anyway. Edge detect is used. What is the purpose of what is the advantage of edge triggered flip flops over what is known as a pulse triggered flip flop? What is pulse triggered? Instead of the triggering the clock, flip flops at the edge, the flip flop continue to trigger as long as the clock pulse is high or as long as the clock pulse is low. Okay. For example, Pulse triggered flip flop. Pulse means level triggered. Level means level. Either it is a logic high or logic low. That is known as a level. Also called as a pulse. Obviously, it is a clock pulse. Generally we call it as a pulse. Okay. For example, when this kind of a clock pulse is applied, the master flip flop continue to change its state. That is output, as long as the clock pulse is high. Okay, and the complement of this, the state is low, because of the NOT gate, and slave flip flop will also continue to change as long as the input of the slave changes, because the clock pulse is low, there is level, there is a pulse, and the output also continues to change. Okay, but this actually there should not be any wrong in this operation, but the problem is, let us say d input is 0. For example, clock pulse is applied. Okay, I should write the clock pulse here, not there. Okay, let us say clock pulse is applied. Okay, now because of the clock pulse, what happens is that, during this region there is on period, the master is on, output of the master is 0. At the same time, because of the NOT gate, slave flip flop is 0. Okay, slave clock pulse is 0, and output of the slave pulse, you know is off. Okay, but now what happens is that during this condition, let us say for example, though slave is disabled, let us say because of some changes in the circuit, because we are using connecting wires and some other components, this output of the master may slightly change from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Okay, our input may change because of some disturbance, not that we are changing the input is 0. Our intention is to store logic 0 into this flip flop. We have given input d as 0, but because of some circuit changes, circuit disturbance, we call it as a disturbance, disturbance or noise, whatever it is. Because of this, the input has changed from 0 to 1, for example. This input will force the output of the master to change to 1, whereas our intention was to store logic 0. Okay, and the clock pulse will change from high to low, and it remains low. Master is disabled, no problem. But now the problem is slave is enabled. Why? Because the clock pulse is low. Because of the NOT gate, the input of the the slave flip flop becomes 1, and the output of the master was 1. This 1 now propagates to the output of the slave flip flop, and it becomes 1. What was our intention? To store logic 0. Instead of logic 0, the output of the master slave flip flop becomes 1. This problem, in case of a pulse triggered flip flops, which is also called as a level triggered flip flops, can be overcome using what is known as a edge triggered flip flops. In edge triggered flip flops is very simple case. Okay, initially d is 0, for example. Okay, clock pulse is applied. Okay, let us say positive pulse, for example. When the clock pulse goes from 0 to I, 0 to high, what happens is that this edge detect circuit will apply this clock pulse to the master flip flop. For example, it is going from 0 to 1, so this clock pulse becomes 1. Okay, and the output of the master becomes 0. Why? Because input is 0, output is also 0. Now the clock pulse remains high for some duration. Okay, in this duration, even when the input changes by mistake, disturbance, noise, whatever it is, it changes to 1, the output of the master will not change, because now this flip flop, d flip flop, is sensitive only to the edge of the clock pulse, not to the level of the clock pulse, not to the pulse duration, or to the level of the clock pulse. So thereby, during this duration of the clock pulse, during this duration of the clock pulse, during this duration, no matter how many times input changes, how many times input d changes, that will not affect the output of the master flip flop, because it is already changed when the clock pulse went from 0 to 1. That is edge. When the edge of the clock pulse appears, the master output has already changed. It will not change any further during the on period of the clock pulse. That is during the pulse portion or the level portion of the clock pulse. Now, when the clock pulse changes the state from high to low, okay, let's observe this. When it changes the state from high to low, okay, then the slave flip-flop is triggered, okay, and whatever the input applied to the slave flip-flop, that will propagate to the output of the slave flip-flop. And during this duration, that is when the clock pulse is low, no matter how many times the output of the master changes or input changes. For example, let us say input now D becomes 1 in this duration, okay. Input D may propagate to the output of the master, but it will not propagate to the output of the slave, because the slave flip-flop is sensitive only to the transition, sensitive only to the edge, not to the level or not to the pulse. Okay, so thereby the edge triggered flip-flops has the advantage of overcoming the noises or disturbances in the circuit, because they're sensitive only to the edges, not to the levels. Okay, so that's the point in case of a edge triggered flip-flops. Okay, so the same thing is explained here. Go through this document, guys. Okay, so basically it's a edge triggered flip-flops. Of course, here master slave is explained, then the edges is explained. Okay, so this is a timing diagram. As the input changes, output is also going to change. Master slave. This is master slave JK flip-flop in terms of the logic diagram. Since it is a common the flip-flop now. So this part of the circuit acts as a master, master, and this part of the circuit acts as a slave. This part of the circuit acts as a slave. If you observe the feedback, guys, this is very important. Okay, the feedback here is the Q output is given as a input to the this second NAND gate, this second NAND gate. Q dash is given, I think is not visible here. Let me erase all this so that, okay. Q is given as an input to the second NAND gate. Q dash is given as an input to the first NAND gate. Okay, that means both the unit now acts as a single unit. Okay, we can call it as a master slave JK flip-flop. If there is no feedback, we can both the unit will have a timing issues. Timing issues means one input is changing at the same time, another input may not change. So to prevent the timing issues, we have this feedback from output to input. One stage is acting as a master, the other stage is acting as a output stage is a slave. Clock is complemented between master. You can observe the clock pulse. It's applied to both the first stage of the master flip flop, and the complement of the clock pulse is applied as the input stage of the slave flip flop. Okay, and now it is, if it is a edge triggered flip flop, it will make sure that the master and slave will trigger only at the rising edge and falling edge of the clock pulse, okay, not during the level of the clock pulse. Okay, this is a circuit diagram. Whenever there is a question on master slave JK flip flop, you have to write this diagram, not the other diagram. This only for the discussion purpose. This using NAND gates is not given in AirPro. That's why I'm referring the Morris Mono also. Okay. Master slave JK flip flop realization using. I think this circuit is there in your laboratory. Okay. I think both you have both. The using NAND gates as well as using the IC. Okay. Guys, any idea what's the IC number of JK flip flop? Anybody has done that experiment? JK flip flop IC number. Okay, it's not 7410. 7410 is a 3 input NAND gate. Okay, 7420 is a 2 input NAND gate. Okay, it is not, sorry, 7420 is a 4 input NAND gate. Sorry, not okay. 7400 is a 2 input NAND gate. 7400, 7410. Okay, it is like this. 74. This is 7400. 2 input NAND gate. 2 input NAND gate. Okay. Similarly, we have 7410, which is 3 input NAND gate. 3 input NAND gate. 7420 is a 4 input NAND gate. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is about edge trigger. Okay, next is edge. Okay, now Yes, in this diagram, we had seen this, edge triggered flip flop. So I'll go back to this. Yeah, here it is. Okay, edge detect. Edge detect is additional circuitry which is used to detect only the edge of a clock pulse, only the edge of a there is a rising edge as well as falling edge of a clock pulse. Instead of this, we can design what is known as a edge triggered flip flops. Okay, so this is what is called as a edge triggered D flip flop. Let us see how the circuit operates. Okay, let us analyze this circuit. Because in this case, edge triggered flip flop, the I think the explanation is given here, and that synchronizes the state changes during the clock pulse transition is the edge triggered flip flop. In this type of flip flop, output transitions occur at a specific level of the clock pulse. Specific level means only at the edges, not at the levels of the clock pulse. Okay, fine. Let us look, how the circuit changes the state. I think it is explained in various stages. You can go through that. We'll take only one stage and we'll discuss. Okay, we'll discuss all possible. I think graphical symbol is also given. Let me check whether the graphical. Okay, graphical. We'll come back to this later. Okay, now quickly, this is yes, here it is. It's triggered flip flop. Okay, let us take initial condition base. Just to understand this circuit. Initially, it is Q is zero, Q bar is one. You can take one and zero. That also works. No issues. Okay, this input is zero. This input is one. Output of Q now should depend on the other input. Okay, because one input is one, output depends on the other input. Okay, whereas in this case, Q dash is 1 because one of the input is already 0. Okay, fine. Now observe the input stage is clock pulse. Clock pulse, let us say something like this. Okay, D is 0, for example. Okay, when D is 0, this fourth NAND gate input is 0 because it is 0. Output of the fourth NAND gate is 1. Okay, now this is fed as an input to this three input NAND gate. There is a NAND gate number 3. This input is 1. If this output is 1, this output should be 0 because they're cross connected. This should be 0. That means this is 0. This will make sure that this output is 1. No problem. Okay, but now the output of gate 3 depends on the other two inputs. Other two input is, one is the clock pulse, the other is the output of this yes condition. Okay, fine. Observe this. Clock, let us say it is going from 0 to 1, for example. Okay, edge, basically it's edge. So this also we can assume it as 1. Now the other input, let's observe this output of the NAND gate NAND gate number 4 is given as an input to the first flip flop. What is the initial condition now? Whereas because of the D0, the output of the NAND gate 4 is 1. This input is also 1. Okay, now what is the other input? Other input depends on the S and R. R is 0. Let's observe this. R output is 0 because if this output to be 1, this output should be 0. That means this is 0. If this is 0, okay, this is 0, this is okay, that's fine. Okay, now what is yes? Now yes, let us take one condition because to analyze this we have to have yes, we have to start with some of the one of the yes condition. Okay, initially let us take 0. You take 0 or 1, it doesn't matter. Okay, no problem. Okay, when this is 0, this input should be 0 because of the cross feedback. Okay, output of the first NAND gate is 1. Okay, because one of the input is 0, output automatically becomes 1. This input is now 1. Let's observe this. The other input for the second NAND gate is 1. Okay, 1 and 1, this should be 0. S is fixed at 0. Because S is 0, this input of the first NAND gate is 0, this is 1. Okay, now observe the second stage. S is 0, this input is 0, this is 0. What should be the output of Q now? Irrespective of the other output, Q should transitions back to 1. Q should change to 1. Now what we understand here is, whatever the input we applied to D, that should appear at Q. We applied as 0, but output is changing to of course 1 because of the transition. Okay, when this is 1, observe this. When this is 1, this input is also 1, and because R is 0, that means this is 0. output of this is 1 and 1 is applied here, 0 and 1 0, output of the Q flip flop is 1, correct, output of Q flip flop is 1. Now what happens now is, because of the clock pulse applied to the this, I think we missed this condition, sorry, this should be 0, this input 0, okay guys, sorry, this I didn't discuss. That is, S is applied as a output of the second NAND gate is applied as input for the third NAND gate, okay. When this is 0, okay, this input should also be 0 because of the feedback. When this is 0, what is the output at the OR gate? OR gate, this OR gate will change now. OR gate condition, sorry, OR point change. OR point, because of the input, one of the input as 0, output of at OR becomes 1. Correct? Earlier it was 0. Initially we had taken it as 0, but because of the feedbacks it is changing now. Okay, so this input now is 1. Other input for this flip flop, let us say for example, is 1. 1 because of the transition, because it transitions from 0 to 1. This input is 1. 1 and 1, output of Q dash is 0. When this is applied as 0 to the this NAND gate, output remains at 1. So output Q is at 1. Okay, fine. Now, what happens at the input stage? Let me erase all this. I'll discuss the clock pulse part now. Now, because of the clock pulse, when this clock pulse continue to remain 1, okay, output will not change. Oh, let us understand that, because yeah, with this let us understand. Now I'll take another condition. Okay, I'll take D as 0, no problem. We'll continue to discuss with 0, no problem. Okay. Initial condition of Q and Q dash is, let us say, 1 and 0. Another possible condition. Okay. That, okay. Okay, let us take D as 1, because we have to understand that though the input changes, output is not changing. To understand this, because transition is from 0 to 1, output is not changing. I'll take D input as 1, for example. Okay. When this input is 1, output should depend on the other input. Other input should come from OR. Okay, fine. Let's observe this. The output of fourth NAND gate is applied as input for the other gate. Okay, what is that? It is not clear. Let us understand from here. When this output is Q dash is 0, this is 0, Q is 1, and when this is 1, output depends on OR. Okay, fine. Now let us say initial condition of S. I think that is given here somewhere here. Let us discuss these diagrams. It is given like this. Okay. Now with clock pulse 0, initially when the clock pulse is 0, with D 0, okay, what will happen is this is 0, and hence output of the NAND gate 4 is 1. When this is 1, the input of the NAND gate 1 is 1. Okay, and initial condition of S and R, it is taken as 1 1. Okay, initially it is assumed to be, because without assumption it is difficult to solve the the gates, not possible. Okay, initially 1 1, I had taken it as 0 and 1, no problem. Okay, if this is 1 1, this is 1, if this because of the cross feedback, 0 1, output of this is 1, and this input is 1, clock is 0, and this input is 1, output of the third NAND gate is 1. Okay, fine. What about at this stage? Initially, the initial condition of NAND gate 1 is taken as 0, for example. Okay, so that means this is 0, clock is 0, this input is 1, 1 and 1. This condition, output of the first NAND gate continues to be 0. Because of 0 0, output of the output of the second NAND gate continues to be 1. Okay. Okay, so the 1 and 1 is applied to the SR latch. Okay, accordingly we'll get the output. Okay, if it is 1 and 1 for a SR latch, what is the condition, guys? Output does not change. If you remember the SR latch condition, depending on whether it is an AND gate or an OR gate, output will change. So in one of the condition, 0 0, no change. One of the type of NAND gate. In another type of NAND gate, 1 and 1, no change. Okay, that's how it is. So accordingly it will change. Okay, that we'll see, no problem. Okay, now D is 1, input D is changed to 1. What will happen? Observe this. If this input is 1, this input is also 1. 1 and 1, this becomes 0, obviously. Okay, this is 0, clock pulse is still 0. This is also taken as 1. 0 and 1, R is 1. No problem. This output of the fourth NAND gate is applied as input for the first NAND gate 0. Output of the first NAND gate is 1. This input is now 1. Clock pulse is 0. S is 1. That means, guys, observe this. Input has changed. Clock pulse remains 0. Input has changed. There is no change in S and R. S and R remains to be 1 and 1. Okay. This is one condition. Next condition, next part of the diagram, somewhere here. With clock pulse 1, with clock pulse, observe this now. Okay. With clock pulse 1, D input is 0. Because of this 0, this becomes 1. This is 1. Clock pulse is 1. Initially, this is taken as 1. Because of this, all the inputs of the 3 input NAND gate 3 is 1. R becomes 0. Okay, what is the effect of this? Because R is 0, this is also 0. Output is, that is output of the fourth NAND gate is 1. 1 is applied as input for the first NAND gate. Here, the other input is 1. Output of the first NAND gate is 0. 0 is applied as the input for the second NAND gate. Clock pulse is 1. Output of the S point is, output of the second NAND gate is 1. When inputs are 1 and 0, what is the output, guys? What is Q? Q should be equal to 0. Q should be equal to 0. And that means D is 0. Q will also give output as 0. Okay, fine. Now, clock pulse is 1. Okay, we change the input to 1. From 0, we are changing it to 1. What happens to the output? Observe this. This is 1. Okay, and clock in, okay, this is 1. Initially, this is 1. 1 and 1, this point becomes 0. This is 0. Clock is 1. Initially, this is 0. 0, 1, 0. R should be 1. That's fine. Fourth, two more minutes. I'll wind up. Okay. So fourth NAND gate output is 0. Because of this, this input is 0. And the other input is also 0 initially. So output of the first NAND gate is 1. 1 is fed back as an input to the second NAND gate. Clock is also 1. This remains 0. This now, because of 1 1, output becomes 0. That means when the input is 1, D flip flop is 1, the SR condition changes to 0 and 1. Because of this, ultimately the Q output, where is this Q output is in this final circuit, Q output becomes 1. Q output becomes 1. Okay, fine. This Q output, you can see that here, this Q output becomes transitions to 1. Okay, so thereby what we understand from this discussion is that though the clock pulse remains same, okay, the input is changing, output will also change. But the clock pulse, when it is 0 and when it is 1, it will affect the circuit only when the clock pulse, okay, clock pulse change. Let us say in this case, let us say clock pulse is 0. Let us see what happens. Okay, this is 0, this is also 0, this is 1. Because of this initial condition is 1, 1 1 0, this is also 0, this is 0 0 0 0, it gives 1. Okay, fine. Now yes, here it is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Yeah, this is 0. Okay, 0 0 1 1 0, AND gate operation is 0, and this output becomes 1. This output becomes, okay, please observe this. When the clock pulse transition from 1 to 0, the S and R changes to 1 1 because clock pulse has changed. For the same SR condition of 1 1, if the clock pulse continues to be 0, and let us analyze it for D0. Now let us analyze it for D0. Clock is 0, D is 0. What will happen? This is 0. Because of this, this becomes 1. That means this is 1, this is 1, clock is 0. Let us take this as initially it was 1 and 1. This becomes 1. This clock is 0. Sorry, this is 1. Because of 0, R becomes 1. R is continues to be 1. So R is 1. So this is here it is 1. Correct? Yeah, 1. So this input is 1. S is 1. This is 1. Okay, 1 1. This gives 0. When 0 is applied, okay, this gives 1. Sorry, 1. Correct. This is 1. Okay, that means the clock pulse remains 0, input is changed, okay, the output remains same because this circuit is sensitive only for the edge of the clock. Edge means only when the clock pulse changes from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Between this region, even when the D input is changed, output will not change because the circuit is sensitive only for the edges, not for the pulse period or not for the levels. It is sensitive only for the edges. Okay, this is lot of states. It's confusing, possible. In the next class, I'll continue with I'll discuss this part again. So, meantime, go through this document, guys. This textbook. You go through this. Okay. So, I'll discuss this concept again because it is given in 4 stages. So, we have to discuss all the stages. I'll continue with this. Okay. So next class we'll continue the discussion on flip flops. We'll discuss, D flip flop is the final flip flop, part of the final, flip flop circuit. 7-4, okay, 1-4, catching ones and zeros. I'll discuss this catching ones and zeros in the master slave JK flip flop. Um, Timing specific. Okay, fine, no issues. This we'll discuss. Okay, it's fine. I'll discuss in the next class. Sir. I'll continue. Okay. See you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Not leave the call. So first, stop recording, stop sharing.